So it all started with an idea in the mind of the former former owner of RPL by the name of Zatcy. He he came up with the idea of creating a racing league for people to race on F1 and to have a great time racing for glory, wins, and making some friends. And today is the weekend of 5 years of RPL. And what could be better for the weekend of the 5 year anniversary of the founding of the RPL League here at Silverstone in Great Britain for the midway point of Season 11 of Tier 1. This is going to be a fun race, and I'm looking forward to it. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, for a special stream of RPL Racing here. I'm your host, Ty Wolf, on hand for commentary for today, and I'm not alone. Joining me is Faded Knight, a driver and a commentator as well. Faded, good to have you here, and hard to believe, 5 years of RPL.
Yeah, glad to be here, Titan. 5 years of RPL. It has been a spectacle to watch for everyone around the world, and especially all the drivers here. They put in 100% effort each and every week, and I'm glad to be spending the 5 year anniversary here at one of the greatest racetracks, the spectacle of Formula One Silverstone Raceway.
Love the enthusiasm. For those of you that do not know, this league was created basically this past weekend, over the weekend, 5 years ago, by Zatcy. The original name of the league was known as IOR, but after a little bit, we learned that the IOR was taken by a previous league that ran around for a lot longer. The name was changed to RPL, Realistic Performance League, and here we are today. It is really wild. We're at the midway point of Season 11 of Tier 1, where the action and the racing has been getting more and more intense as the races continue on. We have F2 finishing up its 19th season. Unfortunately, we did not have the season finale take place because there wasn't enough people taking part, so that got canceled. We wrapped up the season, I believe it was season 13 of Tier 2, well, basically 17 in its entire history if you include it under the F1.5 name, and finish off the inaugural season of Tier 3. But here we go, we're loading up to get ourselves ready for qualifying in this event. It is a full qualifying, so many people to race in. We've had many drivers participate over the years of RPL. We've had so many different winners, probably a couple of hundred at least. But to have it at a track like this, Faded, here at Silverstone, which is the home track for quite a few drivers, it's quite a spectacle.
Yeah, it's going to be a spectacle, to say the least. Silverstone has provided such good racing over the years, and I mean, we saw it in 2021, Verstappen and Hamilton colliding in real life. I mean, could we see collisions today through Cops Corner?
Only time will tell. So, let's go over from last week's event, which was at Austria. I wish I was there for that one, but unfortunately I was out. And, ooh, baby, we got some heavy rain on hand for qualifying. This is going to be interesting.
This is definitely going to flip some things around for some drivers, because they were thinking, oh, we're going to go into Silverstone with it being completely dry. No, the meteorologists are saying there is a lot of rain here.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to change a lot of perspectives for everybody here. So last week we were at Austria. The winner, the top three originally was Jack Miles for the McLaren, TB filling in for Cookie in Red Bull, and Tadpole finished in third. But unfortunately, Jack wound up getting himself a 10-second penalty from a 3-wide collision involving TB and Jack's teammate Leo Lund. So TB was declared the winner. Tadpole was second place, and KVS for his first race in the Mercedes, wound up getting himself onto the podium. In the Drivers' Championship, Leo Lund continues his comfortable lead over Cookie, 164 to 91. But Jack Miles slowly creeping up behind in third place with 89, and he's also got Reese close behind him in fourth with 85. And the constructors, we have a new leader. Red Bull has taken the constructors' lead coming into this race over McLaren, 201 to 188. Oh, did I just lose? Oh no, it's just paused. That's what happened. And a little bit far back in a close fight for third is Aston Martin versus Ferrari, 142 to 135. Let's take a look at the drivers participating in tonight's event. So we have, for the Williams team, we have Cryptic on loan for the Red Bull Academy. He's teaming up with Kieran. In the Aston Martin, we have Samuel Drake Lee and Blonde teaming up together. Cookie and Reese on hand for the Red Bull team. Cam and Tadpole in for Haas. JTK, the Tier 2 champion for the current season 13. He is in the V-Carb with TB. John, a Tier 2 driver. He is on hand for Alpine, and he'll be working with Sam Gino, another loan. Let's see, Josh H. in the Mercedes with KVS. B-Dunk, loan for Mercedes. He's in the McLaren with Jack. FX7 Danny and Metal will be partnering together in the Sauber. And last but not least, for the Ferrari, right now it's Korsman, but Gecko should be joining us very shortly. He's having some issues with his wheel right now, trying to get it calibrated.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a pretty fun qualifying session, especially that constructors battle that's probably going to change hands. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to change hands between Aston Martin and Ferrari. Ferrari are down a man right now, and Korsman, he's been there or thereabout in these Tier 1 races. Hopefully he can just keep that consistency, keep that composure, and maybe single-handedly bring Ferrari some willpower today.
Absolutely, as a lot of these drivers are coming out onto the track to get a feel for the course. Under these wet conditions, I am currently on board with John, the runner-up in Tier 2 Season 13. He put up a very good fight trying to keep up with JTK. These two have been battling it out ever since John's arrival to Tier 2 at the beginning of the season. But for JTK and John, they had a nice little friendly rivalry, but in the end, JTK proved too much for John. He wound up having to be the runner-up. But with JTK, I believe if my memory's right, JTK going up to Tier 1 for the start of the second half of the season. Maybe John will have some extra competition, possibly from some of the newer drivers.
Yeah, and he's going to come around the final two corners here to set a benchmark lap for all the drivers to see. What is that benchmark going to be? It's a 141.3 for the Alpine. Reese just shattered it by 1.9.
Yeah, absolutely. Reese has shown some really good stride in the wet conditions. He's been doing pretty good for himself. I will not lie in that regard. More drivers getting their laps in, getting their final out laps in before starting their push laps. The next driver coming across the line, Jack, would have won in Austria had he not got himself a penalty. He slots in the second, only 8 tenths behind Reese right now, and Cookie only about 2.5 tenths behind his teammate.
And unsurprisingly, the two Red Bulls slotting their only the two drivers in the 139s as of right now, as none of the other drivers are really just finding that 139 pace at the moment. They're just not really pushing themselves to find the time that much right now.
It doesn't look it. They're trying to figure out when to brake properly, when to get the best throttle output on the exit of these corners. as a Blonde coming across the line. He gets himself, he's towards the back of it with a 41.7, unfortunately for him. And Kieran and Cryptic now coming across. Kieran gets himself 41.9, puts him second last at the moment. Cryptic, he's gonna have to go again. He messed up somewhere, and he has to try his lap again.
I believe it was through Stowe where he messed up that corner. Maybe caught the curve and it just unsettled the car, and the game said, yep, we'll give you an invalidation for that.
I mean, not gonna lie, there are plenty of corners at this track where if you're not careful, you can easily invalidate. Cops, Stowe, Maggots, Beckett's, heck, even coming out of the loop, you can do that, and we got ourselves in the 38s now with Korsman.
Yeah, the Dutchman showing his true prowess there as he sets the first time into the 138s. I told you he's got to keep his composure and consistency today, and he's showing it very well.
Yeah, no doubt about that. As we got a couple more cars, still trying to get some laps in. We had the Haas team yet to get a lap in. Metal is on the intermediate tire. So this will be interesting. Is he wondering, is the intermediates faster at this present moment? Well, taking a look at the tire markers right now. Currently, the fastest interlap was done by TB with a 40.1, but he's down in 5th place, nearly 1.6 seconds behind Korsman, who's on the wets.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble for the people on the intermediates, because I still believe the wets are definitely faster. There's just too much standing water out there as Metal sets at 16th with a 144. Yeah, those inners are definitely struggling for him.
Well, for Cryptic, though, he just put himself into 12th with a 41.7. He's only 3 milliseconds ahead of Blonde at this present moment, but Blonde set his time on the wets right now. And actually, Reese is now TB. He thinks the inters are actually faster as he goes about 400ths ahead of Korsman at this moment.
Well, he just proved me wrong with my intermediate statement saying I didn't think it was time for intermediates. It obviously could be time for intermediates shortly.
Anything is possible, to say the least, as Samuel Drake is about to kick off his flying lap on the intermediate tires. Samuel Drake currently down in 11th at this moment. Looks like Cookie, was it Cookie or Jack? They just moved up positions. Actually, I think it was Cookie, actually. Just got himself into the third. Oh, no, it was Jack that moved up. 38.8 for him. That's at the top of the table. It's a little tricky to tell. Samuel Drake going into Brooklands. He's about 6/10 up in Sector 1.
Yeah, the inters are definitely coming to life right now as he goes out of Cop's Corner. Or sorry, not even into Cop's Corner yet. That's my bad. Down the old straight. Now he's in the Cop's Corner. Sorry about that, guys. It's hard to identify the corner names sometimes when you can't really see them that well. Into Maggots and Beckett's for Samuel Drake. He's going to hit that second sector line. What is that going to be? Purple for Sam.
1.7 up right now. That's going to put him at 38.9 at this present moment. That's what it's going to be for him. Are we going to see, for the time being, an Aston Martin on top here in Q1? It's been a little while since we saw that, with Owen doing it recently. Here comes Samuel Drake coming across the line, and he does go fastest for the time being, 38.2, so it looks like it is time for the intermediates.
Oh, it most definitely is time for the intermediates. If you are on those wet tires, please chuck on the green Pirellis, because it's time for you to advance yourselves.
No doubt about it. The rain is actually lessening up at this present moment. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at some other drivers currently going out on laps. Well, we have B-Dunk on the track right now. He is a reserve for the Red Bull Academy, on loan here tonight in McLaren. And he's on the wet compound tires, and yeah, he's almost 2 seconds behind on those wets. So yeah, it is definitely not time. It's the time for the wets has passed. It is intermediate go time. Well, let's go over to Reese now on the inters now, starting up his lap. 39.2 he set on those wets. Here he comes out of Antry down the Wellington Straight. Now here he comes into the Brooklands. Here he goes. He's almost a second up in Sector 1 already.
Yeah, he has taken that intermediate and made it his best friend, as he is now approaching that old pit straight.
Yeah, the car got evil on him exiting out of Luffield through Woodcote. Now heading into the Copse corner as he easily makes it through there, no problem. You have to be careful not to go too far wide out from Copse or you'll risk invalidation. And look at that car just swing left and right as he navigates through Maggots, Beckett's, and then out of Chapel now. And he's 2.1 seconds up. We're going to be seeing a 37, maybe 36.
Yeah, this car is absolutely on rails, Titan. Oh, it just looks like he has all the composure in the absolute stratosphere right now. Reese Dainty coming through the last couple of corners to set his lap. Will this be a 36? Are we going to see a 36? We are going to see a 36. It's a 36 and a half.
Wowee. That is 1.7 seconds better than the Aston Martin. Very strong showing there from Reese right there, no doubt about it. And this is going to be the stirring point for everyone going like, yeah, it's time. We need to get these get on the intermediates. Let's rock and roll here. As Metal puts himself into the 37s with a 37.9 despite running out of ERS just before the Vale chicane.
And he also did that on 5-lap old inters, so that tells you he is finding himself some pace, even on worn inters. So good job for the Kick Sauber team and SLR Metal for that lap.
Absolutely. More and more cars are getting themselves onto the lap here. Now Cam, unfortunately, is going to have to try again. Looks like he went out too wide on the last corner, so he lost not only the lap he was on, but this lap as well. So Cam is just really going to have to step up the gas here as we're getting close to the end of Q1. We're about 4 minutes 15 left in Q1. As I'm currently on board with John, who's 2.3 seconds up. Yeah, this is really starting to fire up. John going into the high 37s right now in that Alpine.
Yeah, this should slot him somewhere in that second row of the grid right now. John's looking very, very steady right now. I said Reese Dainty having composure. John, he's kept the composure. He kept the composure in the Tier 2 race. Tier 1, he's looking pretty good. Can he slot it into 36s? Yes, he can. To P2, 36.9.
Very good showing there. Won't no doubt about it there as more cars filing in as TB now goes above Reese with a 36.4. Next up is Kieran. He goes to 5th fastest with a 37.5. There's JTK, 37.1 for him. Cryptic, 38.2. These times are really pouring in as more and more people are just flying on through to get some more laps in, some times in. 36.5 for KVS. Wow, these times are coming in so quick and so fast, it's hard to keep track.
It is definitely hard to keep track. I believe if you're in the 36s, you're going to have a great shot of being in the top 10. As Jack Miles just set to 35.
You gotta be kidding me. Wow.
That is an absolutely shocker of a lap. It's Josh into the 35s.
Wow. It's only 6 milliseconds. Yeah. And Sam Gino just put himself 6th fastest in that Alpine.
I said if you're anywhere in the 37s, you'd be in the top 10. Might as well cookie into the 34s.
Well, you know it with Cookie. When he finds that rhythm, he just pours in the decimation and dominance right there.
Teammate Reese in the second now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just taking a look at the driver chat very quickly to see what the story is for Gecko. Gecko is currently unable to get the calibration problem on his wheel fixed. So we may not see Gecko possibly. As JTK goes in the second, sandwiching the Red Bulls.
Yeah, that sister car. He's making that thing look beautiful right now. JTK Tier 2 champion. Saying to the boys in Tier 1, hey, I came to play today.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As looks like we have Korsman getting through Beckett's and Chapel right now. He is currently in the bottom four right now, but he ain't staying for long. 3 seconds up in sector 2. This is gonna put him right ahead of JTK by just a smidge right now. But here he comes into the Vale chicane to finish it off. He's got a little traffic just ahead of him. Now Peen and a McLaren firing it up as B-Dunk goes second fastest right now. And Korsman, we're almost in the 33s.
What a lap by the Dutchman of TS Korsman. Oh, man. Are we not done yet with these fast-ass times?
I don't think so. I don't think we're done by a long shot.
Samuel Drake Lee to start his lap in the Aston Martin. Then it's going to be his teammate Blonde and FX7 Danny start. Cryptic, I believe he's going to be one of the next ones to cross, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And he just invalidated out of Stowe. So that's going to bite for him. But thankfully, he's got plenty of ERS available, so he'll be able to get a last-ditch effort in to get his lap done. At the moment, Tadpole looking to come across shortly as Kieran up in the ninth. Oh wow, qualifying's already done.
Qualifying is already done. Tadpole in the 8th. That's good for him. KVS crosses the line in 5th.
Wow, this is just wild and a half. Meanwhile, so Metal currently in 14th. He is basically just about done as he gets out of the way of other cars. Now further on back, we got Sam Gino about to finish off his lap. He's got a McLaren ahead. That is Jack coming across the line now. He goes to second with a 34-2. Not bad for him. And Sam goes up to ninth fastest at this moment. Let's see what we got next up. We got Samuel Drake Lee coming out of Stowe now. He's already used the ERS deployment out of Stowe. This might cost him possibly.
That's not what you want to do. Is TS Korsman thinks his lap is absolutely brilliant. Samuel Drake Lee to 8th. Cookie couldn't do anything else.
Cookie's all done. John next coming out. He's going to have to get out of it to get out of the bottom 5 and 4, and he does so. Up to 6th fastest, and that knocks Metal out of commission. Next up is Cryptic. He can knock Cam out, but speaking of Cam, Cam's right behind him. As, wow, more and more just coming on in here. As Cryptic coming across. Cryptic is out, unfortunately. Cam up in 8th place, and that will do it. So both Saubers of Danny and Metal are out, and both Williams of Kieran and Cryptic are done.
Yeah, but surprisingly, both Haas cars are through. That is a sight to see and a great thing for that MoneyGram Haas team. Tadpole and Cam doing a very good job.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So here is the top 3 right here. We have Korsman on top with a 34-1, Jack right behind 34-2, and Josh with a 34-3. Very good stuff there. As said, we lose the Saubers and the Williams pair. So, and Gecko has just come informed that he has that his wheel is fixed, but unfortunately, Gecko will have to start in dead last.
Yeah, it's not where he wants to be for that Ferrari, especially when your teammate is the leader for Q1. He was fastest in Q1. He obviously Gecko will have some work to do from back of the grid. I believe he can still score points tonight, but it's not going to be probably any higher than like 8th.
Yeah, so just while we're waiting at this present moment, I'm just gonna get Gecko into the session. He's waiting on an invite. There he is. Gecko is now here. We have a full set.
Full grid of 20 cars.
Yeah, absolutely. While we're waiting on some cars to come out onto it, let's take a look here. We have 15 of you on hand watching the stream here. Taking a look here. We have JTK, we have Thrasher, Invade is here. Our old commentator Ryan Searles, he is here as well. Good to see you all here. Hope you're all enjoying this special stream here for tonight. This is gonna be a fun starter. As looks like the rain is still active, but is actually less intense than it was in Q1. I'm wondering, is it possible maybe that if it's possible, maybe could we see maybe dry for Q3 perhaps?
You know, I was just going to say we could see dry tires at the end of Q2, possibly start of Q3. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. The rain has lightened to almost sprinkle speed now.
Yeah, rain is starting to sprinkle as a bunch of cars are out onto the track now. We have John, JTK, Cam, Josh, Tadpole, Korsman, TB, and Jack on hand for this event for the start for Q2. I'm on board with John, and why not? Just for the heck of it, Faded. If you like, care to go on an onboard lap with John here?
Yeah, of course, man.
All right, it's all yours.
Alrighty, so John gonna go up the gears. He's gonna go into 5th. 6th gear, he's gonna start his lap right now. 7th gear, he's going up 100, almost 180 miles an hour through the first corner. He's gonna make that thing look absolutely brilliant. He's gonna bring it down into 4th, now 3rd gear. Not using too much of the battery there. Cheeky little left turn there for John. He's gonna make that thing look very good down the straight. He's going to use some of that boost, some of that overtake. Now in 8th gear. Is he going to go up to 190 miles an hour? Yes, he will. Flicking it around there. Drops it down to 3rd gear. He's still making that thing look very good right now. As we're going down the old pit straight. There it is. There's the old pit straight. 7th gear. He's going to hold it. Hold it. Into Cop's corner. He's going to flick it absolutely brilliantly. Saving the ERS. Now into Maggots and Beckett's. He's going to make that thing look absolutely spot on right now. He has not made that many mistakes, if any at all, to my naked eye. Going to use some of the boost to get to the corner. He's purple. Keeping it into 5th gear. He's making that thing look very spot on right now. This lap is very good for John. What will this benchmark be for all the other drivers? It's a 33.2.
Yeah, John just finished his lap just as the rain was clearing out, and looks like quite a few of the guys that were on the out laps just noticed it themselves, going like, oh yeah, maybe we should go in and get something in there. As Korsman also on the inters, 32.0 for him. And these times are really starting to fire on all cylinders. It's GTK, 33.2 for him. He's only 800ths clear of John at this present moment. Meanwhile, the last guy out on the track, currently finishing up his out lap, is Reese. And Reese is on the softs.
Yeah, it looks super dry to my eyes. And I think, you know, might as well take a gamble, go on soft, see if it can definitely be faster than the intermediates. And from what I'm understanding, the softs are going to be absolutely clear at this moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at Reese, by the way, as he goes through just full flat out just flat out into turn number 1. Very nice there through the Abbey. Now coming into the loop. Ooh, little wheel spin exiting Village. It's quite close there, but he manages to keep it in control. As now, yeah, DRS is not enabled just yet, so maybe the track just has a couple of standing puddles at this moment, but Reese keeping it calm, keeping it chill as he works his way through. There's DRS enabled, so yeah, the sauce will come into play here as Reese, just a little wiggle out of left field, maintains himself through, out of cops. This is where things will be interesting. Just a little ease off the throttle, but keeps the throttle well and tuned. Now through Maggots and Beckett's. Checking out this onboard. Just look how swell he was doing. Just swinging that wheel left and right through those corners. Now down the hanger straight, getting it to about 205 into the corner for Stowe. He just has to be careful not to invalidate here. He does very nicely, riding on the curb here. Now, a little lockup. Ooh, little hippity hop in the Vale. See what Reese has as he comes out, and we will see 31s here. Yeah, 31, 399 for Reese.
Yeah, the laps are definitely ramping up. Softs are definitely the tire of choice that everyone is gonna have to go on. It is just way too dry out there.
Yeah, but for these guys, depending on what they chose for the tires, I mean, they probably chose the balanced style for the tire allocation. These guys will have they do have 3 sets of sauce available to them. So, I mean, if I was smart, I would just say, since it's dry and you use your set of sauce, I would say use that set of sauce for this stint of Q2, and maybe for a bit of a recon lap for Q3. Then use your second set to get your banger laps in and to end Q3. And if in rare case you may need a set of sauce towards the end stage of the race, you do have that fresh set available to you.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the best bet for these drivers, is to save that fresh set, especially if, there's maybe a late race safety car and they're going to have to put on that soft set. That would be the best bet, save a set.
We have seen a couple of times a late race safety car at this track. Heck, we've seen it towards the end of many races here in Tier 1. I mean, who could forget all the way back in Season 6 when Reese thought he had Spain locked down until the man, the myth, the legend, Leon Minor, crashed and DNF'd in the final corner, which triggered a late safety car, and in the end it wound up resulting in Reese losing the win to Skither.
That is just, the definition of being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Reese thought he had that land locked for him, but no, it just wasn't his day.
I think honestly, these last couple of weeks for Reese, he's been really stepping himself up as of late. I mean, he had third in Canada, third in Baku. I mean, yes, he did come up short against his teammate TB in Austria, but still, he got himself a 6th place finish, which is not bad. So Reese, really, as of late, he's been starting to fire back on all cylinders like the Reese of old.
Yeah, he's been super consistent these last races, and as you can see it right now, he's just 7/10 ahead of the Dutchman TS Korsman. I think Reese is going to be a favorite here because, if I'm not mistaken, there is no Leo Lund today.
No, he is, Leo Lund is, if I recall right, he is on, I think my memory is right, he's on a cruise, I believe. That's why he is not here today, as Cam, unfortunately, just got a little too ambitious on the exit of Stowe, as, wow, you don't see that every day. Tadpole, a Haas on top. You don't see that every day with a Haas on top. Actually, honestly, I don't think in all of RPL's history, I don't think well, in Tier 1 perspective, I don't think we've had a Haas take pole position in RPL Tier 1. We've had a couple of times in the early season where they came close. As Blanco's fastest with a 28.7. Very nice work for him. But yeah, I think my memory's right. The closest person we've seen get close to a pole position in Tier 1 would happen to be Luke back in Season 1 in Monza, where he qualified the Haas in fourth position.
Yeah,
Ooh, cam way off.
it's
That
not what
had to
he
be a
wanted.
scary moment.
It's not what he wanted to have happen. He wanted to advance his position and be probably in those high 129s, maybe even mid 129s. It's all over for him right now as he's going to go back in the pits to try again. Oh, he's in the grass. He just overtook his teammate going into the pit
Yeah, I love that fun stuff. Well, we have Cookie now on his flying lap right now, as pretty much almost everyone has yet to come out and get a lap in. I would say probably within like the next 30 seconds, we'll see everybody come out to get a banger lap in. It looks like we do have some action in the McLaren garage. As it looks like could be B Dunk or Jack coming out. Korsman is coming back out onto the track. But yeah, this is gonna be this could be possibly pandemonium if the cars are not careful in these last few minutes of qualifying.
Yeah, they're gonna have to just go out there, set their laps, probably do their best to get into Q3. That is probably going to be the main goal for all these guys. There's a lot of time to gain. The track is all dry. I mean, there's probably 2 seconds to gain. Well, definitely not 2 seconds to gain, as Cookie's just put in a 26.9.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it comes to against Cookie, he is just on a whole nother level. There's no doubt about it. Whenever Cookie is on track, you're expecting a pretty much a qualifying and later on a racing masterclass of dominance from Cookie. We've seen that multiple times in last season, and Cookie is just on another level with just a smidge below a 27 even. It looks like everyone is coming out of the pits right now to get their last laps going on. Looks like the first one of this big batch is going to be Jack, one of, well, pretty much half of this group that is yet to get a lap in, as he makes his way through turns 1 and 2, now coming into the village and the loop. This is practically one of the slowest sections of this track here. Back up through the gears into the DRS zone of the Wellington Straight. Jack just coming on in with a 27.5 for him. I think that puts him right on par with Cookie, I believe, but I could be incorrect. That's Jack now coming out of Luffield into Woodcott to get himself currently. Well, he is at the back of the field right now. The reason he's all the way at the back of the field is because the drivers that don't have their laps set yet, I mean, if time ran out and they couldn't get it done, basically the car numbers determine where they are in the order. Jack is currently at the bottom because he has the highest number 98.
Yeah, and Jack, I believe he was a 10th faster in Sector 1. Yes, he was. And then Sector 2, he was another 10th up. So this should be what I believe a 26.7 potentially for Jack. We'll see as he crosses the line. Is it faster to Cookie? 26.2.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how Korsman responds. Korsman's invalidated!
Oh.
and he would have had a 27.5 if it counted. That would put him in third. But
Just going
thankfully,
again.
he does have time. Yeah. Here we go. John up in the third now. Good timing for him. KVS now coming out of the last corner. Where will he go into? And he will be fourth fastest. This is going to be high octane action here towards the end of this. As more drivers filing in to get their times done. As Cookie responds to Jack's response with a 26-0 for him. Josh coming in with Reese right behind, followed by Sam Gino, and I believe Samuel Drake Lee right behind. Josh, third fastest. Reese, up to 7th. That's a shock one right there. Sam Gino, 8th, and Samuel Drake, 9th. Next up, the Haas. Both Haas's.
Tadpole, where does he put that car? 8th, currently into Q3.
Oh, Sam Gino is out of qualifying.
Blonde across the line now. He's going to knock out Tadpole. Blonde goes into 8th. It's Korsman! 25.9.
It looks like Cam did not get a lap in because of invalidation, and his fastest lap was a 28.0, which unfortunately would have been dead last regardless. So for Q2, we say goodbye to JTK, missing out by a 10.5, Tadpole, Cam, Sam Gino, and Samuel Drake Lee. And looking at our top 10 going through to Q3, sorry. Korsman, Cookie, Jack, B-Dunk, Josh, TB, John, KVS, Blonde, and Reese. Reese just getting into Q3 by 0.14 seconds.
Yeah, he's got to be shaking his head for being that low getting into Q3. He realized he was on the cusp of elimination. He just squeezed the last hairs of his, I'm not going to say ass, I'm going to say thigh here. But yeah, Reese just barely squeezing in by almost a 10.5.
We're just gone up in the viewer department. We're up to 18 now, seeing some more people coming in and saying hello. But we have Leo in the chat as well. Goat Lee is here. Good to see both of you here. And I got a laugh on Leo. Just said, sorry guys, this time is not Leo Lund pole.
Yeah, we're usually used to seeing Leo Lund dominance in these races, but sorry, mate, you're on a cruise ship.
But yeah, here we go. So Q3, here we go. Well, let's take a look. Let's get some things figured out here. So while we're getting ourselves prepped up and ready to fire off for Q3, well, let's get some predictions in. Faded. Who do you think is going to be the top 3, and what do you think pole time is going to be?
Well, I'm definitely thinking it's going to be the 2 Red Bulls somewhere in that top 3. I'm going to say Cookie's going to be ahead of Reese, but that Dutchman, T.S. Korsman, I think he's going to be the one to definitely have to beat today. He's just been absolutely on point with Q1 and Q2. I think he's just going to have to be the man to beat. But I think the order's definitely going to be Korsman, Cookie, and Reese Dainty in your 1, 2, 3.
You know, crazily enough, I'm actually I'm gonna agree with you on the first and second is I agree with the Q2 with the P2 with the P1 and the P2 being Korsman and Cookie being 1 and 2. But I'm actually going to go completely different on the P3. Because I think P3, it's going to be a brawl between not only Reese, but I think also between Jack in the McLaren and KVS in the Mercedes.
Yeah,
But if I
KVS
had to
is.
pick...
Sorry,
Go
Titan.
ahead.
So what I was going to say is KVS, he's been consistent as well through Q1 and Q2. Just fifth in Q2. I don't know where exactly he was in Q1. He might have been fifth as well. But he's definitely going to be a bit of a threat for that third position here in Q3, or maybe even higher up. You know, there's always been shockers in RPL. If anything can happen, it may, in doubt, will happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm gonna go a bit on the dark side here. I'm actually thinking between the three, between Reese, KVS, and Jack. I think KVS is gonna just eke out ahead of the two of them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say I think the gap between third and fifth, the gap between it, I think all three of them they're gonna be within a tenth and a half of each other.
I was definitely going to say that tenth and a half, maybe 2/10. Yeah, KVS has been good, but also you got to keep in mind Jack Miles has been very, very quick. So in my eyes, I'm saying Jack Miles is going to be ahead of KVS. I'm thinking that's going to be for the fourth position. I think Reese has got it for third.
Well, only time will tell. We're kicking off Q3 with KVS. I will go through this lap with him as he is getting up into the gears, up through seventh gear. Just gonna be going flat out through farm Abbey and farm. Now braking hard down in the third gear into village. Now into the loop. Nice and easy in the third gear, getting back onto the throttle, back up through the gears, out of Aintree into the first DRS zone. Firing up on all cylinders, up to 8th gear, down to Wellington Straight. Heading up to near 200, coming into the Brooklands corner. Now into Luffield. Down into 4th, nice and easy exit, nice and easy, going strong hard. Down through Woodcock, past the old pit straight here. Now coming up to the cops. These guys go pretty much flat out here, just losing a little bit of speed. Flat out for KVS. Didn't even need a lift as he heads now into Maggots, Beckus, and the Chapel corner. And he's invalidated. Got a little too greedy on that entry out of Maggots.
Yeah, just thought he could go put the most throttle he could into it, and he just got caught up on that curb, and that's what unsettled the car, and FIA gave him a invalidation for that. That was not what he wanted to see on his lap. He was gonna be probably somewhere in that top 5 by when it's all said and done, as Josh sets the 25.9, Jack 3/10 behind with a 26.2 there.
As more cars are filing in to get their laps in, TB just put himself 26.5 for him. Korsman responds 25.8 ahead of Josh by just a little over a tenth of a second. Meanwhile, Cookie now coming across the line. Well, I believe he had a 26.6. He had a 26.6, but unfortunately invalidated. So unfortunately, that lap is no good. He's going to have to try again. He's going to have to try again a bit later on because he has no ERS available to him.
And that's definitely frustrated Cookie a little bit. As yeah, he is backing off of this lap, going max to his gears in 5th. He's going to have to try again. As B-Dunk, he was probably going to get a good lap time in. He's invalidated, and he's locking it up into the pits.
Yeah, he invalidated coming out of Beckett's. That's where he invalidated through there. Back on with KVS as he is trying again for a new lap. And looks like his teammate just getting out of the way. Doesn't want to be in the way of it. Of KVS. As KVS working his way. Now, KVS has been racing in the Alpine since at the start of the season, all the way till round number 8. Then switched to Mercedes last week, and he's showing his stride here. 26-0 for him in the Mercedes. That sets him in P3 for the time being. And Reese was about to finish his lap. He unfortunately invalidated.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. That would have been a 26-2. That would have slotted him behind Jack. Oh man, these Red Bulls just cannot figure it out right now.
Well, with a lot of drivers getting these invalidations, as I call it, and I'm sorry for saying it involving this guy, one of the OGs. They basically have been getting the chiller treatment. For those that basically follow RPL for many years, many a racing, you all know about the chiller and his rivalry with the track limits during qualifying. He's had tracks left and right coming to blows on him. I mean, literally, Blonde goes airborne in the Vale chicane. I'm surprised he did not go over and ruin that up, but yeah, he did have that lap ruined up. 27-0 for him. He's at the back of the field.
Yeah, it's a shame that he hit the chicane and that car just did a little hippity-hoppity, as you like to say, Zayton.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, he'll have to try that again, and I know there's a lot more pace in that race car, so hopefully we'll see Blonde somewhere in that top 5. But Reese going into the pits as it stands right
He
now.
ran out of fuel.
Oh. I believe the only one who's going to go out there and set another lap again is going to be Jack Miles.
Yeah, Jack is coming out to try to improve that lap of his. 26-2 for him. Meanwhile, 3 cars yet to set a lap, that being B-Dunk, Cookie, and Reese. That's going to be a very unique. That's really unique to see both of the Red Bulls not get a lap in. I mean, as I mentioned, they got the chiller treatment. As like I said, the chiller in Racing Pass has had track limit invalidations happen to hit him multiple times during qualifying over the course of several seasons. I mean, that moment is more synonymous than Liam going out on dates with the track walls.
Yeah. You got track limits, track walls, you got, drivers crashing into walls and stuff like that. I mean, RPL's filled with chaos, and I can't wait to see what chaos this race brings. As Jack is on his lap, going to the Sector 1 line as it stands now. Will this be any bit competitive? It is. Purple Sector 1 for Jack. It was a sub 27 second sector there. As he is approaching his way down the old pit straight. There's the papaya orange McLaren. As Jack Miles is going to flick it in the cop's corner right now. Looking very strong right now. He's going to flick it in the Maggots and Beckett's. Looking very sound right now. He's going to open that DRS. That rear wing open. Going to use the boost. He's at 16%. Did he use too much battery? Doesn't seem like that right now. He's purple through 1, purple through 2. He flicks it into that right-hander. Through the last couple of corners. Jack Miles, is this to the front of the field? No! Stays 4th, but improves his time.
Yeah, he does improve, but only just a little over 10th. He does stay 4th, but he is ever closer to Korsman. And I think with only 2 minutes 20 seconds to go, I think this is the end of Jack's run here in qualifying. So Jack, at the moment, is sitting in 4th place, but if the Red Bulls and B-Dunk do better laps than he will, at worst, Jack could start as far back as 7th, maybe worse.
Could. All these drivers definitely have pace in their race cars. Jack, he may have, I don't know, gone out there too early to set his lap time, or just definitely unsettled the car into Sector 3, it looked like, and this could be very, very bad for the McLaren driver of Jack Miles, as Cookie's gonna get a little bit of help from Reese, I believe, down the old pit straight. Yeah,
He
it definitely
does.
looks like it. Reese with a little bit of help, but he didn't let him go just yet.
He's gonna
Definitely
let
give
him
him.
go just before Meckes and Beckett's, maybe. Yes, he does.
Yep, that is a great, great move. Cookie, I believe this should be a purple sector 2. He is flying around here. Yep, purple sector 2 there for Cookie. Wonder if this lap time is absolutely going to be a shocker to us all. We've seen Cookie just blow the qualifying times out of the water by 8, 9, even a seconds, as Leo Lund does almost every week. Cookie, a little bit of slide out of the penultimate corner. Cookie,
Ooh.
25.8 just by 51 thousandths of a second. I don't know if that's good enough for pole yet. We shall see. As TB's up in Sector 2, he's purple.
And TB about 2/10 up in in sector number 2. It will improve his position, but it'll stay where he is in 6th place right now. Yeah, Cookie.
Oh!
Oh!
TB a
That was
slide!
close.
And that has absolutely ruined his lap. Now he's
Oh,
gingerly
he's not happy.
going to the line to set a 28.7. That is almost got to be it for TB. As Jack retires. John to
John
6th.
John. John up to 6, but Korsman's improving. He's almost 2/10 up, and the Mercedes right behind him.
And this should be one of those goated laps from TS Korsman. Could it be a 25.6 or even better than that? Korsman rounding the last corner. Is this better than Cookie's lap? It is a 25.6. What a lap from the Dutchman.
Ooh! Look how close Josh came from getting that pole.
67 one thousandths of a second between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. I don't believe we're done yet. We still got B-Dunk coming across shortly. As Blonde goes 8th, where does B-Dunk put that McLaren? To P8. I believe that's it. I don't think TB's got that much speed.
Nope.
No, he does not have that much speed.
So Korsman takes pole position by just under 700ths of a second over Josh, and Cookie having to settle for 3rd place, unfortunately. I mean, Cookie did have a bit of a wiggle out of the Vale chicane, and also had a lockup going into Brooklyn. I think those two little mistakes most like possibly cost them going into that. Yeah, Leo, I completely agree. What upgrades did Mercedes bring to the table? Because they're 2nd and 4th at the moment, while Jack can only muster 5th place in that McLaren right now. So Korsman on top and pole position in the Ferrari. Josh in 2nd, Cookie in 3rd, KVS 4, Jack 5th, Reese having to sell for 6th place, John down in 7th, B-Dunk 8, Blonde 9, and TB, unfortunately the slowest after that crucial and unfortunate mistake coming out of Vale.
Yeah, it is not where these Red Bulls want to be. 3-6 for Cookie and Reese, especially when they're perceived as Tier 1 favorites. Reese is gonna have some ground to do, and Cookie, he's gonna want to go to the front.
And TB just said just before he hit that sausage curb, he was over 3/10 up. And had he not messed that up, he would have claimed P7 from that point. At that point, he would have had P7.
That definitely would have boosted his confidence in that Visa Cash App Red Bull. But still fair play to TB. He's going to have some ground to make up, and I can guarantee you he is going to make up that ground. He is a great, great driver. It's all to play for in this race.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And just taking a look at the tire strategies as people are getting their tire strategies figured out, looks like mostly everybody is thinking about starting on the soft compound tires to kick off for this race. But that's just at the moment. Things could change over the course of the period of time, as we got 25 seconds before we kick off this race. So we got KVS and Reese looking to go for the mediums. We got one driver possibly starting on the hards. Anything is possible as we get ready to start up in roughly 10 seconds. This will be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, this shall be a fun one for everyone watching, as well as the 20 drivers competing. Here are the lights to start the British Grand Prix.
And off we go to kick off the British Grand Prix. Looks like Josh got a really nice start ahead of Korsman. Oh, Korsman gets a little shove onto the grass. Bumpity. He is down and lost multiple spots against Josh here as Cookie takes advantage of this. Oh, thank you very much. I'm now in the lead now. Mercedes both battling it out between KVS and Josh. Josh on the inside against KVS, but Josh decides to back off, let his teammate through. Korsman now trying to regain lost ground, and there's Reese involved, trying to gain some positions, trying to go against Jack. This is just thrilling racing right at the start here.
Yeah, this definitely is some good racing as it stands at the moment. B-Dunk gaining some spots there. Samuel Drake leads side by side.
Baby.
We got a car going off. That is Reese Dainty off. Man, oh man. It's all kicking off here in the first lap.
He was alongside with Jack heading into the cops' corner, and Jack having a cut Chapel. The TB inadvertently not giving enough room as B-Dunk now trying to catch up with and try to overtake TB for the 5th place spot. As Cookie, by the way, pulling almost a second lead over on there as Josh, by the way, trying to deal with Blonde right now for the 10th place spot. As cars fly, ooh, contact between Josh and Blonde. Blonde goes around, losing numerous spots. I don't know if Josh got a little too close to Blonde or Blonde drifted a little too high, but one Mercedes is starting to thrive while the other is struggling.
Cookie leads by 0.3 of a second as it stands at the moment from KBS and TS Korsman. John just 0.2 behind. Titan, I think I'm gonna have to step out of the booth and let you solo this one.
That's no big deal. I just saw.
Be.
That's okay. I saw your Discord message. It's perfectly fine. But thank you for helping me out on this.
Hey, no problem, buddy. Enjoy.
Alright, thank you. Well, so my teammate is has just bowed out for the time being. He's got stuff to do and other stuff. But we're on board with Reese right now, trying to chase Tadpole right now as KVS, by the way, just overtook lost second to Korsman. Korsman ahead. Here comes Reese, getting ahead of both Tadpole and Jack, getting himself in the 7th place. This is just really wild racing here, to say the least. John, by the way, right behind KVS to look for a chance to go up into the podium place. This will be nice for the Alpine driver, no doubt about that. But yeah, I'm currently by myself in the commentary box for the time being, so I will try my absolute best to try to catch some of the battles here. I may miss a battle or two, so I do apologize if I do miss some action here. But let's take a look. John battling off with KVS to try to get himself into the podium place. Can he get it done? Going, gone. Yes, he does. John up in the 3rd place at this moment. Meanwhile, further back, Samuel Drake eyeing up Tadpole to get himself in the 9th place now. He's got Kieran right behind him in 11th place. JTK down in 12th right now. take a look at the positions lost here by these drivers here. As you can see here, currently the biggest gainer in the positions right now, Kieran, started all the way down in 17th place. He is up into 11th right now. We have gains from Samuel Drake, Tadpole, TB Dunk. Meanwhile, towards the front of the field, John eyeing up KVS to see if he can go for second place. Korsman, not KVS, Korsman's in the Ferrari. I am so sorry about that. But yeah, John trying to eye up for the position to try to take second place. But Korsman is just keeping his focus to try to get past Cookie for the lead right now. Meanwhile, a little further back, JTK trying to catch up to Kieran to get himself into the position as Josh and Cryptic have opted to go into the pits. Meanwhile, Gecko clearing metal to get himself into 14th place. Now, like I said, with Gecko missed out on Q1. He had to start all the way at the back of the field because of a wheel calibration issue. The top three still maintaining close proximity of each other. And a little further back, we have another DRS train, starting with Jack, going all the way back to the 16th place of Blonde at this moment. Oh man, this is gonna be wild to say the least. And looks like Josh and Cryptic, I guess, had a collision going into the pits. Meanwhile, Tadpole was eyeing up a shot to go against the Samuel Drake for it, but looks like we may have an action tight for the lead here between Korsman and Cookie here. On board with Korsman as he's looking for a shot. Where's he going to go? He's going right down the inside. And we have a new leader. Korsman has taken the lead in the British Grand Prix. John trying to chase pursuit. Meanwhile, further back, Jack lost some position to Reese. Reese up into 7th place and now leads the head of this train. Meanwhile, Kieran, little right of the sausage curb, and Gecko just lost several positions. He is around in Vale. Oh my goodness, I wonder what happened there. That is just very unfortunate for Gecko. He was climbing his way up through the field, but it has all gone awry, and now he has to restart again. Meanwhile, John sticking his nose, trying to sneak a peek on Cookie, trying to get his hand in the cookie jar to see if he can get himself into second place here. But looks like he can't seem to do it at this moment. KVS, by the way, climbed right on this trio here, trying to see if he can get himself in position. Meanwhile, B-Dunk right behind him, seeing it from the rear camera of KVS as he's trying to sneak a peek on KVS to go for 4th, but just can't seem to get it done at this moment. Literally, the top 6 so close together, you can literally fit the 6 of them inside a tiny little compact car, and you'll still have room between them. No doubt there. This is how close and tight the action is between these 6. Who's going to be blinking first here? It looks like B-Dunk might be thinking of a chance here. Maybe not. Looks like Cookie eyeing a peek. Is he going to go for it? Maybe no. But John saying, hello, I see an opportunity. Maybe I'll go for a shot. And KVS blocking B-Dunk to keep him back from taking the 4th place spot. That brings TB ever closer, looking for an opportunity. See, he can get some nice points. And seeing the eyes of the TPs going forward as we head to the week break and the halfway point, thinking, I got potential. I see what I can do. I'm willing to be proven to be a good asset for a team. Actually, I think TB is taken for a team next season. I'll have to take a look again. I did not have my research for the season 12 roster at this present moment. But meanwhile, the top 6 is still very close together. Meanwhile, Tadpole trying to eye up a shot on Cookie in the background. Blonde passing Kieran to get himself into the 12th place position. So Kieran falling down to 13th, Sam Gino right behind, and Gecko is the first driver in the penalty box. Track limit penalty, and that was in Brooklands. TB is Ferrari next season. Thank you, Inve, for clarifying that with me. Thank you for that. Just caught that. Meanwhile, Cookie eyeing up a shot. Here he goes down the inside against Korsman. He gets it done. We have Cookie reclaims the lead of the British Grand Prix. In the background when we saw that fight, Jack overtaking Reese to get himself into the 7th place spot. Tadpole finally clears Samuel Drake leading in the 9th, but Samuel Drake looking to fight back, but JTK is right there as well, seeing if he can get himself in there. Sam Gino, by the way, passing Kieran to get himself into 13th. Unlucky 13, not playing nice to Kieran. Ooh. Meanwhile, TB eyeing up a shot on B-Dunk, but just can't seem to get it done. B-Dunk covering the inside lane, forcing TB to take the long way around through the village and the loop here, but just can't seem to get it done. But the top 6, so tight, so close. There's no tightness of action here between these guys. Meanwhile, JTK looking to eye a shot down the inside against Samuel Drake. This is for the final points position, but Samuel Drake maintaining his ground and blocks the switcheroo attack from JTK to maintain that 10th place. A little further back, we're on board, just seeing Metal here down in 15th place. He's trying to keep up with Kieran to try to go for a shot to get up into some positions here. Would love to have some positions here, but just take a look at all these drivers here. The top 6 going down the hangar straight. Korsman going a long way around to go for a shot. Meanwhile, KVS thinking the inside attack against John. Korsman is successful against Cookie to take the lead back, but John maintains his ground and stays ahead. Meanwhile, Samuel Drake and JTK battling it out. Let's go on board with Tadpole as he's watching it from behind, and JTK just a smidge ahead, gets it done. He's up in the 9th. Very nice work from JTK there, the Tier 2 champion. Very good stuff from him. Well, a little further back, as looks like JTK is now having his own little DRS train because Jack and Reese have stepped out and are ahead. Meanwhile, Blonde gets past Tadpole. Well, sorry, Tadpole passes that. B-Dunk, TB, what a send into Brooklyn's there, and TB claims 5th place from B-Dunk. This kind of attack from TB, this is what the Red Bull team needs in order to extend their Constructors' Championship lead over to McLaren. Over McLaren right now, they have, I believe it's a 13-point lead in the Constructors at this moment. Yes, it is. It is a 13-point Constructors lead between Red Bull and the McLaren. And a move like that from TB, that will definitely help them out for sure. Whew, man, talk about some fights there, as looks like the Aston Martins has switched positions as Blonde and Samuel go in, get them switch positions. Blonde is now up in the 10th. Samuel Drake has to settle for 11th. And looks like Samuel Drake is going to be the first of the soft tire drivers to come in. Let's take a look at the tires that everybody started on, as quite a lot of drivers were on, quite a few drivers on a mixture all around, a medium and a medium and the soft tires. For most of the drivers, we had 2 drivers start on the hard compound tire, that being Jack and Korsman. Jack and Korsman starting on the hard compound tires, and looks like TB was eyeing up a possible opportunity to attack KVS to get himself into the 4th place position. As looks like TB just couldn't seem to eye up an opportunity in the Brooklyns like he did with B-Dunk. I think KVS was none the wiser to TB's racing style, knowing what he is capable of. Let's go on board with B-Dunk and the McLaren as he's watching this field dead ahead of him. Now, quite a few of these guys, a couple of these guys are on the soft tires. They're going to be pitting probably within the next couple of laps. The question is who will be blinking first for the pit here? As let's see here, it looks like none of them has opted to come in just yet, because literally the only soft tire driver in this field is John. I think KVS just got ambitious trying to attack John, but it backfired on him. In fact, it backfired bad that TB just lost 5th place back to to B-Dunk, but B-Dunk down the inside against KVS to get himself into the 4th place spot, and he does so, but KVS thought about flying back, but KVS, bad wiggle out of the loop, unfortunately, loses out on 5th place to TB, so TB back in 5th, but looks like those people have just switched it up. B-Dunk now leading that group ahead, and looks like Jack just claimed 7th place back from Reese, by the way. Like I said, guys, I am by myself, so I will miss a battle or two. If I do miss a battle or two, I do apologize for it. You can see it on the track map on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Also seeing the lap intervals, here on the left side of your screen. Like I said, I'm just one man. I'm trying my best to get as much of the action as I possibly can. And like I said, if I miss a battle, I do apologize. I am trying my absolute best here. As Reese looking to eye up Jack to reclaim the 7th place spot. He does so with no problem at all. And just in the background, by the way, GTK claiming 9th place, getting ahead of Blonde, and John is in the pits now. Let's see what John is going to be doing. Is he going to be going onto the medium tires, or will he be going onto the hard compound tires? We'll have to wait and see. We're on lap 10. I think he may possibly go for the medium tires here as he comes on in. And he is onto the medium tires. Tadpole, by the way, coming in as well. And, oh, Danny. Unfortunately, just like with Kieran, speeding in the pit lane, that is going to cost him dearly for sure. Oh. I need to catch my breath just a quick second. Oh, never mind. Jack and Reese saying, nope, here's some more action for you. Jack reclaiming now what is 6th place ahead of Reese. Man, I wanted to catch my breath for just a second, but unfortunately I could not get it to happen. Unfortunately, Invade, Faded had to step out. He has a couple of places, he has some things that he has to do, and he is, not back. He's not coming back. So it is just me by myself on the commentary on the commentary board here. But as I said, I will try my absolute best to get as much of the action as I can. And looks like we have trouble in the loop. That is Danny around out of Aimtree. Sam Gino, by the way, working on Sam Gino now, trying to catch up with JTK and Blonde here, as Cookie now sets the fastest lap. I love that type of lap. 28,999. That sounds like a price tag for a car. I love that, honestly. Not gonna lie there. But anyway, so it looks like the drivers are filing in and getting themselves back into stuff here. Meanwhile, just seeing Josh all the way down in the 18th position. He is just not having the greatest time, to say the least. And meanwhile, just saw B-Dunk. B-Dunk is up into the 3rd place spot, overtaking TB. I believe it's because John went into the pits. That's why. John went into the pits. That's why B-Dunk is up in the 3rd. But he has unfortunately lost track of the top 2. Cookie and Korsman are now off and alone, running off in this field. Meanwhile, further back, let's take a look on board with KBS. Is he eyeing up an opportunity to attack TV? No, he doesn't even have any ERS available to him. He's saving the battery. He's keeping the battery intact in case he needs something. In fact, actually, KVS is coming in. The first of the medium tires is coming in. So with KVS coming in, this is gonna signal for B-Dunk and TB how much further can they go if they want to undercut KVS, as B-Dunk's teammate Jack is into the pits as well. So this is gonna change up quite a bit here. Let's see where Jack and KVS are going to be filing out. Looks like they're going to come out ahead of John, who's just coming out of the Vale Chicane now, at this present moment. See as they come out. This is a very slow pit run right here. It looks like John is going to get both of them. John overtakes both of them, gets ahead, And John does jump ahead of them as JTK, as you can see here, overtakes Blonde to take the 6th place spot. So it looks like John coming in a little early because he was on the soft tires. He made those mediums work. He is ahead of KVS and ahead of Jack, but KVS just manages to get in the DRS range against John. But yeah, John on the medium tires, same with Jack. KVS onto the hard compound tires. As looks like we may have a battle for the lead. Yes, we do. Just caught it in time. Cookie reclaims the lead against Korsman. Let's see what happens here between the two. They are staying in touch here. As Blonde and JTK still battling it out. As you can see them in a stow. And looks like Reese is coming in. Reese is going to be coming in. Oh no! Reese, 10 seconds for speeding into pits. Oh my god, Reese. Why, man? What in the world, man? We were talking such high hopes for you, and we just freaking jinxed you. What in the world? I mean, we were talking such great spirits about you during qualifying, and you go and do this, man. Come on. Man, you gotta feel sorry for Reese. Not gonna lie there. But TB looking to eye up a shot on B-Dunk, but just can't seem to get it done at this present moment as Reese is gonna come out behind Jack, all the way down in 13th. And with that 10-second, that is really going to be costly. I mean, I feel sorry for Reese, but that was just an unfortunate, poor mistake, and that's going to cost them dearly here. Meanwhile, let's go to the front of the field. Meanwhile, as Korsman is back on the charge against Cookie here, as he's going to be going a long way around against Cookie here. Cookie tried to fight, but just couldn't seem to get it done. Meanwhile, TB passing B-Dunk to get himself into 3rd place. This is quite a crucial run here. Meanwhile, let's see what happens here. B-Dunk does go into the pits now. So let's see how TB will respond over the next lap or two. We do know that the undercut is quite powerful here. He just has to be careful here as Kieran now gets a 3-second track limit penalty on top of the 10-second he had beforehand. Sam Gino and GTK coming in. Blonde is staying out. Let's take a look and see who has yet to stop at this moment. So it looks like it is going to be, we have Cam. So it is Cam. So yeah, so it's Cam, Gecko, Blonde, TB, Cookie, and Korsman yet to pit. Meanwhile, Jack just set the fastest lap of this race right now. Korsman and Cookie, they start on the mediums. They're going long, which means I think once they time it out right, they're gonna come in and go onto the soft compound tires. We will see this happen between the top 6. They will pit a bit later and go onto the soft compound tires. Meanwhile, let's take a look, see where Cam is. Cam is just coming out of left field, while John has a bit of a DRS train behind with KVS, B-Dunk, and Jack. Reese, unfortunately, way far behind, 2 seconds back. Meanwhile, Cookie not close enough to warrant a shot to go against Korsman here. And in fact, Cookie is coming in. TB in tow. This is going to be crucial for Korsman. He's going to have to decide when he's coming in. But TB is responding to B-Dunk. So this is what is going to be here as Blonde is now in. Gecko stays out. Cam stays out. So this will be crucial for these drivers what they're going to be doing. So Korsman has to deal with Cookie. I know this. Korsman is going to have to come in. Is going to be coming in this time by. He's going to have to. So let's see what happens here. Now, he does have a 17-second lead over Gecko. So Gecko, Gecko will be falling quite a bit behind. But Gecko will have a free pit stop on his hand because he will not be held up by his teammate. Meanwhile, Cookie and John were fighting, trying to get out of the pit here. And looks like John, unfortunately, is down in 5th place, but here comes B-Dunk down the inside to challenge both of them. B-Dunk gets John, but just cannot seem to catch Cookie here. B-Dunk almost got Cookie, on the undercut, but just could not get it done here. Meanwhile, Jack, by the way, did clear TV and is up into 8th place. TV having to settle in the 9th place, while Reese, by the way, is trying to catch up and get in the DRS range here. I think that's what Cookie's trying to do. He wants to help his teammate out. Korsman is in. And we will see where Korsman will fall as he comes out of the pits. Meanwhile, B-Dunk trying to catch up to see if he can try to go for a shot here. KVS saying, I'll go for an attack on John here. And he will do that. KVS is up into 6th place right now. B-Dunk, though, on his own. Here comes Gecko. Gecko comes across ahead. Let's see what happens here as Korsman's going to come out. This is going to be tight. This is going to be tight. This is going to be tight here. And Korsman just behind Cookie. So Cookie does get him on the undercut temporarily, but Cookie has Cam in front of him. This is what Korsman likes to see. He has his academy teammate giving Cookie a bit of a headache, but Cookie and Korsman and B-Dunk all getting involved to attack Cam, and they do so. Cam and Gecko have yet to pit, but Big Cam holding up Cookie back just a little bit. That could have been crucial in helping Korsman out. But now, this is where things get more exciting here. Oh, we got a crash! Big wreck between Jack and Cam! Oh my god! What the heck happened? But Jack is not happy. I think Jack tried to attack Cam, and I think did Cam maybe squeeze him? Or there was a problem there, but Jack off and around in the maggots and beckets. Oh my goodness. That is not what Jack needs right there. But Korsman does take the lead back from Cookie. Now it's all up to B-Dunk now. Oh man, Jack just, those rear tires are fried, that's for sure. And Jack, that is done and dusted for him. So J and J both out of it. I mean, Josh got involved in that first lap incident. And then Jack now with that incident with Cam. Oh man, that is so unfortunate. And Jack, first retirement. That is it. That is it for Jack. But Jack is probably absolutely seething at Cam. I think we're going to see some heated words between those two for sure. As TB clearing KVS to get himself into the 6th place spot. He's trying to eye up John for the 5th place spot at this moment. John really holding his own right now in that Alpine in that 5th place spot. But we will have to check and yeah, oh, Jack said that Cam pushed him onto the grass on the straightaway. Oh man, that's not going to be good there. So we will be seeing some words between the two of them later on once this event is done here. But we have 8 laps left to go, and Korsman does have the lead over Cookie right now. TV, by the way, clearing John to get himself into 5th place. KVS following suit, saying, I'm coming in as well. He goes into 6th place. Reese, by the way, down in the 8th place position. He does have that 10-second penalty right now, though. But at this moment, looking at it, I think poor Reese, by the way, if the race ended right now, Reese will fall down to 12th place. So he needs to get, he's 6.7 seconds clear of 10th place, but he has to get another 1.8 seconds to clear Tadpole to stay in the points. So Tadpole, if you're listening, you need to stay within 10 seconds, and you'll claim 10th place and knock Reese out of the points. Meanwhile, back up front, but then JTK saying, nope, there's some action for you. I overtake Sam to get himself in the 9th place. Sam, I haven't talked much about all race this race. He's hanging on pretty well, sitting in that 10th place spot. Sam, if my memory's right, is a tier 2 driver. Very, very good driver, not gonna lie. Good consistency from him. and he is in 10th place. Very good stuff from him. But top four being very tight here as Gecko yet to come in. Yes, he does. He does go in now. So Gecko is coming in to the pits now. He does have that penalty though. So Gecko, let's see where he will come out. I think he may be behind. He'll be behind Tadpole, but ahead of Samuel Drake coming out of the pits, I think. But we'll have to wait and see here. As now it's a 3-car race between a Ferrari Korsman, the Red Bull of Cookie, and the McLaren of B-Dunk. Now, B-Dunk is pretty much a brand spanking new driver. He got signed earlier in the week as a reserve. I mean, is B-Dunk going to pull up an offset and get himself a win here, possibly? Let's see what happens here. A little bit further back, by the way. Reese going up against KVS for the 5th place spot, but KVS maintaining his ground, maintaining the inside. Well, Reese is stuck, going to have to go the long way around to deal with KVS here. Just can't seem to get it done. Let's go on board with the man here, as Cam is now in the penalty box. I believe my memory's right. Cam is the 3rd driver to be in the penalty box for track limits. The other two being oh no, Cryptic's in there too. So Gecko, Cam, Kieran, and Cam, Cryptic, Kieran, and Gecko are the guys in the penalty box. Woo, that was close. KVS waiting for the last second to go against TB. Does so, and Reese gets a spook, saying, "Oh boy, I almost just smacked in my own teammate." That would have sucked if that happened. But John would be like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to see you guys crash. I'd love to take advantage of a couple of positions." Now back towards the front. Cookie does have the lead back. He took it from Korsman on the Wellington Straight. As I did say, I do apologize if I missed some fights. I am sorry. I am one man. I'm trying to get it happen here as Korsman looking to eye up a shot against Cookie, but just can't seem to get it done right now. TB, by the way, clears KVS, gets himself in a 4th. And TB, by the way, really is doing really good for himself, by the way. I mean, we did see from Invade earlier on in the stream, as I noted it, TB is going back to Ferrari for Season 12 Tier 1. I mean, TB claimed a Season 8 championship with the team there. I wonder if history will repeat itself, maybe, perhaps. But meanwhile, let's go back towards the front, down the hangar straight, as Korsman eyeing up Cookie to go for the lead. He does so, but Cookie fighting it back. But no, Korsman gets it back. B-Dunk right close behind. Meanwhile, 3 wide, going into Stowe. And KVS almost coming out the worst for wear, but KVS, oh baby, this is going to get tight here between the two. Yeah, as TB saying, I'm doing the old switcheroo. Perez did, but or Sainz did, whichever driver did that in the British Grand Prix last year. But KVS down to 6, TB up in the 5th. Now Reese is in 4th, but bear in mind he does have that penalty though. Let's take a look at the gap right now for the leads here. Now looks at this. So Reese right now will fall to 10th place right now, but he's got an extra 2.5 and only 4 laps to go in order to get himself to stay in 9th right now. But we'll have to wait and see in that regard there. Only time will tell. Will Reese's penalty result in him going down to 10th, or will he go a little higher up there? We'll find out at this present time. But meanwhile, this is the fight here between the top 3, between Korsman, Cookie, and B-Dunk. I mean, if I was these guys, I would probably save up a little bit of battery and have some battery available to you towards the end of it. And Cookie onto the grass! And he gets the lead back. That's some nice little expeditioning right there. But Cookie does get the lead back from Korsman. Ooh, Korsman locked up in the Vale chicane, and that is going to cost him quite a lot of time there. He needs to be careful and make sure not to lose too much ground against Cookie, because that kind of mistakes like that is what allow Cookie to pull away and run away. Let's see how these guys do down the Wellington straight here. Let's see what Korsman's capable of as he's getting himself in a position to try to stay in tune with Cookie right now. He does gain some time here, and he will be staying close in tune. Looking at the ERS deployment available, Cookie has 45 available to him. Korsman has practically a full battery. Ooh, B-Dunk into the gravel! B-Dunk goes a little bit into the gravel. Meanwhile, further back, going into Brooklyn's, Sam Gino gets ahead of JTK to get himself into 8th place. Meanwhile, Kieran and Metal bumping, banging, bashing. As Kieran, by the way, just gets himself into the 14th place position. And I don't think Metal's done yet. I think he's going to go for a send down the inside. He does so, and he gets the place back. Oh, clunk from Kieran, and Kieran goes around because of it. And Korsman, by the way, does get the lead back from Cookie. Just caught it at the end here into the Stowe. This is going to be tight here. 3 laps left in this event. Excuse me. Meanwhile, JTK just overtook Sam Gino back for the 8th place spot. I think we should stay focused on these guys towards the end of this race. This is where it's going to get very intense here. I'm going to keep my focus on the top 3 at this moment. It looks like Cookie almost made a mistake going into the village. And B-Dunk waiting to jump, waiting to surprise. But B-Dunk saying, nah, I'm just going to wait my time just a little bit, wait for you guys to make a costly mistake, and I will take the lead from you. Well, let's take a quick peek at the warnings. Let's see if anybody's got some track limit warnings. So, Korsman only has 1. Cookie has 1. And B-Dunk, I think, probably has 1 on him. Yep. Everybody with 1 warning in the top 3. But we're on board with B-Dunk as he's chasing Cookie down. Switching to Cookie now as he's 6/10 behind Korsman. As he's trying to gain some of that ground back. In the background, you see Reese, TB, and KVS and John trying to work their way through on this group here. Let's go back. Let's take a look at the leading gap here. As we got trouble in the loop. That's Cam around. But let's take a look here at this field here. So at this moment, looking at Reese, he is gonna fall to. He is going to stay in 10th place as Kieran is now a lap down. We're on the penultimate lap of this British Grand Prix. But we're looking at a war between these 3 here as KVS, by the way, on the inside against Reese. He gets it done. He's ahead. Meanwhile, towards the back of the field, it is Cookie, B-Dunk, and Korsman. This is your top 3 right now. I think these boys are gonna be destroying their ERS on this final lap. So I think we're gonna see. I think whoever's in second, we're gonna see a last-ditch effort lunge in either Stowe or Vale. Place your bets. Place your bets, gentlemen. Place your bets, people. Who's gonna be going home with the win here at Silverstone? On board with Cookie as he's chasing Korsman down. These guys don't have their ERS available, are not using their ERS available to them. Cookie has a full battery. B-Dunk has a 86 available to him. Korsman has 93. So these guys are pretty much even in regards to their ERS deployment. Here we go. Final lap of this Grand Prix. KVS, by the way, in the background chasing TB for 4th. Reese dealing with John in the 6th place spot. Here we go. Bit of a lockup. I think that was from Korsman. Let's see what happens. Let's go to Cookie right now. He's going to pour that ERS now. Pouring it down on the Wellington straight. Here we go. TB and KVS fighting in Abbey. Not Abbey, in the village. And TB maintains ahead of KVS, but KVS is not done yet. B-Dunk looking to go around on the inside. No, he cannot. KVS, though, by the way, in the Brooklands, gets ahead of TB. But we're staying true on this top 3. Here we go. Through cops for the final time. trying to get my voice set up for this, but here we go. And it looks like Cam has crashed out of Stowe. This is gonna be it here. Here we go. Overtake deployed from all 3 of these drivers. Who will be blinking first? Can Cookie go for a shot? He's going for it. He's going for it. Contact here as Korsman goes over the line, but he does stay ahead and maintains it. Boo, baby! Bump and bang! Banging between them. Korsman runs off. Korsman out of the final corner. He wins. Cookie second place. B-Dunk third. But chaos in the last 3 corners. Korsman claims victory. B-Dunk third. Cookie in second. TB will come in fourth. KVS 5. John 6. Sam Gino 7th. JTK, by the way, 8th place. Blonde in 9th. And Reese will have to settle for 10th. Only 1 point on his board. And that is wow. Wow. I mean, looking at that, we just saw, we did see it happen. We saw it. We saw it coming. A brawl and a half between Cookie, Korsman, and B-Dunk. That was a war there. Cookie go for a shot in Stowe. They were tight. Korsman wound up going wide out of Stowe, but he still maintained the lead, so he was not told to give up the position. Cookie, by the way, then the shot in the Vale, and then there was contact between Cookie and B-Dunk right at the end, on the exit of Vale. I'm wondering what happened there. It was tricky to catch it on there, but what a race there. Just what a race. Wow. What a race. What a race between those 3. No doubt about it. B-Dunk claiming his first podium in the tier. I think this is his first ever start, too. But what a race there. Of course, you're welcome. Me and Cookie became married for 3 seconds. Oh, wow. But there it is. Korsman with the win. B-Dunk tried, but just couldn't get it done. He does sell for third, though. Very good stuff for him. And Cookie with the win as the celebration kicks in. But let's go over some of the contenders for driver of the day. Korsman, he had a really good race, really showing his stride, did pretty good, held off both Cookie and B-Dunk to maintain the win. Good stuff for him. B-Dunk, by the way, first start and a first podium for him. That's a good contender as well for driver of the day as well. TB for the V car, by the way, started in 10th place. Really hung in that top 5 pretty much the whole time. Did really solid for him. He's another contender as well. And then you also have Sam Gino, by the way, alone in the Alpine. And he started in 13th, finishing in the middle of that top 10. Very good stuff there. He is also another contender as well for driver of the day. So there's four drivers right there. I think, in my opinion, are good candidates for driver of the day. No doubt about it. But yeah, I think Faded really missed out. Faded really missed out on some good action there. But yeah, as I was mentioning, guys, I will say this, guys. What a race. What an event. And that is what RPL racing is about. The racing and the action just puts you right at the edge of your seat. That was the vision. That was the vision 5 years ago when this league was made. And here we are 5 years later. It is really amazing, to say the least. But wow, what fun that was. But what an event that is, to say the least. So we are coming into the closing end of the stream here, but I hope you all have really enjoyed yourselves watching this race. I hope you had a great time, especially on this special stream for RPL for the 5-year anniversary of the league in general. So, what's next? What's up next? Well, with today being done, we are going to be taking a break for 1 week, so that the TPs can get their lineups finalized for the next upcoming season of Tier 2, of Tier 3, and also the new F2 TPs. They have to get themselves figured out on who will be in what for the upcoming season of Season 20 of F2. Bear in mind on that one. That will be interesting. Now, I do have the races in question for Tier 3 and for Tier 2, the opening rounds. So, Tier 3, the first round for the Season 2 will be at Australia. Meanwhile, for Tier 2, their season opener for Season 14 will be at Bahrain. And for Tier 1, we will kick off the second half of the season. We will be racing around in Hungary. But what a race, what racing, what fun. It was really good, to say the least. I do see in the main chat, by the way, Korsman and Cookie are a bit having a bit of a scuffle in regards to words exchanged on that last lap. But yeah, what an event to kick for the fifth year anniversary of RPL, and what a way to end the first half of the season. But I hope you all had a great time watching it, and I know I had a great time watching it. And we will see you all for the next round of events for RPL streams. Titan Iron Wolf saying good night and have a great one.